Hello viewers, I am Subrata Deka. Today on the first anniversary of Elvira Creative, I am here today to speak about the inception, the vision and the goal of Elvira Creative and to interact with its founder, our beloved Neelakshi Ba. To know more about the origin, the past, the present and the future of Elvira Creative. A year back on this very day, Elvira Creative was launched by Neelakshi Ba. We are family friends and Ba's family and our family have known each other for many years. We loved and respected dear Anjali auntie and her demise has left a void in all our lives. She was a loving, helpful, calm, sober, culturally refined, knowledgeable and simple lady who lived her life with her values and principles impeccably intact. She was a socially active person and had many good qualities that endeared her to all the people known and close to her. Auntie's and Neelakshi Ba's common love of poetry is the binding factor that motivated Neelakshi Ba for the creation of Elvira Creative. So today, on 14th of November, being the first foundation day of Elvira Creative, I shall be in conversation with Neelakshi Ba to know more about their journey of starting this YouTube channel and what are the future plans and programs she envisions for Elvira Creative. Hello Ba.
Hello.
So Ba, let me ask you, when, how and why did you start writing poetry?
Since childhood, I have a great love and passion for reading and writing poetry. I began writing at the age of 12 years after my father's death. Poetry is my best companion, my talisman, my guardian angel, and my joy. Poetry reading and writing is a holistic and cathartic experience for me. I must confess that poetry allows me to drive out the demons and dust out the cobwebs in my mind and heart. I feel that poetry is the sane voice that mirrors our world with all its beauty and its words. It puts on us our thinking caps, it makes us appreciate beauty for all that it is worth, and it inspires us to nurture the positive and ideal within our souls.
Thank you Ba for such an insightful view on poetry. So what was your ma's connection or our dear auntie's connection to poetry?
Ma did not write poetry, but she had a natural flair and inborn talent for poetry recitation. In her childhood, she also participated in competitions and won prizes as she was adept in the art of recitation. That is why when we were small, she encouraged me and my sister for poetry recitation, and she taught us and she made us to participate in poetry competitions, although we were not so good as her, so we didn't win any prizes.
We will always remember Auntie with love and respect for bringing you up to be who you are today and for blessing us from the high heavens. So Ba, how did the idea of your YouTube channel Elvira Creative originate and how it feels to be able to implement your idea?
Amazingly, during the COVID lockdown in 2020, I had this eureka moment when we rediscovered Ma's childhood hobby, love and passion for poetry recitation. Soon after that, I thought that why not Ma and me, we both again indulge in our love for recitation. And so I decided to start this YouTube channel for poetry recitation. The icing on the cake was that one day while I was hearing Ma's wonderful recitation of a beautiful Assamese poem, I was inspired to think about its translation. It was a very challenging and daunting task, but to our great joy and satisfaction, we were able to accomplish this difficult work of translation. The poets whose works we translated have very gracefully supported and encouraged us wholeheartedly. We are honored and privileged to have been able to translate their beautiful poems, and I hope that we have been able to do justice to their original works. Coming to the second part of the question, it is truly very satisfying and thrilling to be able to materialize my dream of upgrading myself from writing poetry to reciting poetry. Elvira Creative is still a baby and it has a long way to go, but even as of now, I am a very happy and satisfied soul.
Thank you so much, Pa. So, on this note, I would like to ask you about who is your favorite poet and which is your favorite poem and why?
My favorite poet is If by Rudyard Kipling, and my favorite poet is Maya Angelou. So actually I have a leaning towards poems which are of the philosophical and emotional genres. But I also love poems written on nature. So Robert Frost is another one of my favorite poets.
Robert Frost, one of the first romantic poets when it comes to English poetry. We always recall him with a lot of love and joy. So, what are your hopes, aspirations and plans for Elvira Creative in the future?
As far as my hopes and aspirations for Elvira Creative are concerned, first I wish to establish Elvira Creative as a platform for poetry lovers, for both poets as well as poetry readers. There are many people like my mother who don't write poetry but they love to read poetry, and they also have a knack for poetry recitation. Then there are poets who do not have a flair for poetry recitation, or if maybe they do, but they do not wish to go for poetry recitation, but they like to hear their poems being recited by others. I would want to bring both these groups and collaborate with them and bring them together for their mutual benefit. Second, I would want Elvira Creative to help to bring out new talent and some poets whose talents are still unknown to the world. They've been writing for many years, but their reach is confined to their family and friends. Lastly, and most importantly, my aim would be to spread the love of poetry to as wide an audience as possible.
Thank you so much, Neelakshi Ba, for letting me be a part of this novel endeavor. This conversation with you has been quite insightful, and it was really great to know about the great things that you have planned for it. We really wish for the best for the bright future of Elvira Creative in the days to come.